Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to paint up this great ape from Wizkids. Although to me, he's basically King Kong. And this model is huge. And here it is in its packaging. And on the reverse is a painted example. Right, let's set him free of his restraints. There's still one plastic tie stopping him from getting out. That just needs cutting off. Although for this model it wasn't really needed. They're pretty sturdy, heavy duty. As you can see, it comes with a sculpted base, plus an additional nice big round disc, which I don't always use, but in this case I have plans. There's quite a lot of detail on this model, and there's quite a few seam lines as well, so you can tell it's been assembled in the factory. I'm not going to spend too long cleaning these seam lines up, as this figure will be quite dark and will hide most of them. So all I'm basically doing is using this tiny file to make sure all the hairs align between each piece. Because these figures are already primed, I can jump straight on with the painting. For the main portion of the body I use charcoal black, which is essentially a very dark grey. And then using a light grey I dry brush it all over, and this will catch on all the fur areas and help them stand out a little bit. I use a salmon pink for the inside of its mouth, followed by bone white on the teeth. And I use a dot of light brown on the eyes. I used a grey wash on the hands and feet to add that little colour variation. It looks like I put it on haphazardly, but once it settles and dries it will look the part. And that's Kong all painted. And because he has such a basic paint job, I want to put some effort into the base. So I'm going to add a couple of creatures and a bunch of skulls. I'm going to turn both of these into Black Panthers, which I think will suit the scene better, because the leopard is a little bit too vibrant for me. So I used charcoal black again for the body, then I painted the mouth, teeth and eyes as I did with Kong. Now this box contains a wide variety of skulls, which is a mixture of human and alien, but they should pass for different terrestrial species. So using super glue I glued Kong to the base. I kept him as far back as I could with least space for the panthers. And then I mix up some milliput so that I can extend the rocky terrain. So I'll push this into place with my fingers before digging out my sculpting tools and finishing off the transformation. I need to glue the panthers into place before I finish it off. And this is why I painted them first, because once they're on the base I won't have much manoeuvrability. Then it's a matter of sculpting around the bases and blend them in together. And then I randomly push in a bunch of skulls into the milliput before it sets. And once all those skulls are securely in place, I can paint on the undercoat for the base. And for that I just use white. And then I use a mixture of brown and grey washes for the base. I'm mixing other colour variations while the paint is still wet. And this helps create the random tones that you see in nature. I dry brush on some bone white over the skulls. This is just enough to make them stand out above the ground texture, but I still want them to feel dirty and old. Lastly I seal all that paint in with a matte sealer, and then this guy is done. So here we can see the base detail, the wild cats on the skulls, and there is the mighty Kong himself. It was a fairly basic project, and the new base really does elevate it somewhat. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if I can do it, so can you.